What's good? What's good? It's the one, the only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So let's talk about it, bro. Let's talk about it. We got to talk about the whole Fatal Fury card. All right. First and foremost, let me just say this. I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna talk about both what I liked and what I didn't like. All right. The card was a very good card on paper. On paper, you had 3 main event cards. However, first and foremost, I will say this: the timing was just crazy, and I didn't like that at all, bro. I didn't like the fact that the fight came on. It came on at like around 3 o'clock, bro, at 3:30, and I just thought that was just crazy. Like, what I don't know, and I'm gonna give Turkey Al-Sheikh some grace. Maybe he just doesn't understand the market out here in America. And again, like, that's something that people really have to do. Like, I don't know why he wouldn't talk to. I don't know, because he's working with promoters. He's working with De La Hoya. He's worked with Eddie Hearn. I'm not understanding why nobody really just told him that. I'm not understanding why nobody just told him, like, about how the market works. You don't throw fights at 3:30 in the afternoon on a Friday. Now, if you want to do that on a Saturday, even that's still kind of pushing it. But on a Friday during the week, how America goes, majority of the boxing fans are at work. A lot of people work 9 to 5s. So putting a boxing event on 3:30 in the afternoon on a Friday, that's not a good look, bro. That's not good at all. And you would think that De La Hoya or something, I'm pretty sure somebody had to have ran it by him to, like, know, like, bro, you're not gonna get a lot of viewers, because it was crazy to me. Like, bro, when I turned it on, I'm sitting here thinking that, like, because I'm sitting here thinking they're gonna show, like, preliminary bouts, and I'm saying, so I'm like, all right, I'll check out the preliminary. I always have a hard time saying that, preliminary bouts or whatnot, just to see if scout some prospects to see who I should be looking out for. And it was like 3 o'clock, and it was like, up next we got the such and such. And I'm like, damn, this must be a long intermission then, bro. So, but then, like, I'm just chilling, and all of a sudden, like, I see but what got it was when I saw Arnold Barboza in his robe and with his boxing his boxing gloves on. And I'm like, bro, finna fight now? Like that's when I was first, like, kind of just thrown off by it. I'm like, damn, dude finna fight now? Like, and it was only like 3:20 at that time. So it was just weird to me. So that definitely is something that needs to be talked about. If you're gonna try to sell out in the American market, bro, you gotta throwing fights on at 3 in the afternoon, that's not even gonna get it. Because, like I said, some people, a majority of the people out here, they don't get off until 5 o'clock. So if anything, you wanna kind of put a fight on around, like, maybe 7, but that's that. All right. The card itself, all of the fights, none of the fights were just that entertaining. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm gonna go break down each fight. The first fight with Arnold Barboza and Teofimo. I thought Teofimo, now out of everybody, I thought Teofimo looked really good. Teofimo was setting up traps that Arnold Barboza and he just couldn't, get away from. Now, here's the thing about it. Arnold Barboza, believe it or not, he didn't fight a bad fight. Teo was just all around better than him. Teo was slick in there. Teo was he was the faster fighter. He was a slicker fighter. His timing was better. His IQ was better. He was just an all-around better fighter, bro. So, it was really nothing much that Arnold Barboza could really do, in my opinion. But go back to the drawing board and just learn from this or whatnot. But Teo was just an all-around better fighter, bro. Neither fighter was hurt. Teo just outboxed him and looked very slick doing it. So, I will say that Teo looked really good. Teo looked really, really good. It's not much to really break down to that. Like I said, Arnold Barboza Teo was just an all-around better fighter. But let's talk about the Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez fight. Now, I know a lot of people are going to criticize Devin Haney. They're going to say he ran and all this type of stuff. I get what Devin Haney's game plan was. Now, granted, do I think Devin Haney is gunshot? Well, I had questions about that coming into this fight. How is that Devin Haney's mental coming into the Jose Ramirez fight. Now, I haven't watched the post-fight conference, which I need to. I probably should have watched that before doing this video. But just to see what Devin Haney had to say about his performance himself. But those questions were not answered. Because listen, hear me out. While many people are going to criticize Devin Haney for, his performance, I don't know so much if it was just because of Devin Haney being gun-shy or was that the game plan. And here's why I say that. What happens is, how I always tell you guys, when you're fighting a power puncher, which Jose Ramirez is not a power puncher, but he does have some pop in his punch. But when you fight a power puncher, you want to always keep them moving. That way they won't have to reset, right? Well, when you're fighting somebody who likes to throw a lot of combinations like Jose Ramirez does, you want to keep them moving too, because what that does is when you're moving around, when you're constantly moving around your opponent, somebody who likes to throw a lot of punches, they can only throw punches when their feet are set and when your feet are set, right? So what that does is that constantly, once again, makes them have to reset, and it limits their punch output because they don't want to just throw punches at the air. You know what I'm saying? They would rather you block the punches with them still connecting on some part of your body than to throw punches at the air. Why? Because that makes you tired. And Devin Haney was doing that literally all night. I wasn't, it wasn't the most fan-friendly fight, but I understood what he was doing. And then what he would do is he would lower Jose Ramirez, almost like lowering him to sleep. And then he'll come out with a good, pop. Devin Haney has a really, really fast and nice jab, and I really wish he would have used it more. But he would, throw a pot shot. He would pot shot out there once Jose Ramirez, kind of fell asleep, or he would often do it when Jose was set. Like, so what I mean by that is he'll move around from side to side, he'll move all around, and then once Jose was set to get ready to throw a punch, because Devin, he could time him, he could throw his shot before, he could get his shot off before Jose, because he was the faster fighter. So when Jose would set his feet, Devin would pop and then move, just keep moving on him or whatnot. Because like I said, it wasn't the most fan-friendly fight, but I understood the strategy. But now, what I need to know is, I don't know if that was the game plan or is Devin Haney a big gun shot? Because Devin Haney is normally known to stay, he's normally known to stay in the pocket a little bit longer, than what he normally does. But he didn't want to stick around today. And so, but anyway, regardless, an ugly win is better than a pretty loss, I guess. So, he got the victory or whatever. I think I had it 12-0, but I think the judges had it. Two of them had it 119 to 109, and one of them had it 118 to 110. Which is 119 to 109 is 11 rounds to 1, and 118 to 110 is 10 rounds to 2. So it was he got the victory. And I'm gonna speak on what each fighter should do next after I get on all the fights or whatnot. Now then, finally we had Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero. Right now, Ryan, you want to talk about somebody being gun shy? Ryan Garcia was all the way gun shy, all the way. Rolly caught that man with a double hook. Ryan was coming out like, it was almost like Ryan really, he was pivoting in the wrong direction. He was pivoting the way that favored Rolly's hook, because Rolly is a hooker. And the saying, you don't hook with a hooker, but he pivoted like that gave the way he pivoted, he was pivoting to his, I want to say it was to his left. He was circling to his left, maybe not pivoting, but circling. I want to say it was to his left, which pretty much it gave Rolly leverage to land a double hook and get him on knock him down or whatnot. And after that, Ryan just was gunshot. The thing about Rolly is, bro, when you jab Rolly, if anybody knows, first of all, anytime you land a punch on Rolly does this thing like where anytime you land a punch, you land a jab or anything, he does this thing like it's like he's wiping off his face anytime you land a punch on him. But another thing is when you land a punch on him, Rolly sits back on that on his back leg, on his right leg. He sits back so far on it that it limits his movement. He can't. It's almost like his back foot is stuck in quicksand, right? Because he sits back so far on it when you throw a punch, so he can't get away. I never understood why Ryan Garcia didn't double up the jab and then come with either come with a right or double up the jab and at least, because I'm not gonna even, because Ryan is not known for using angles. He's too flat-footed for that. But I never understood why he didn't just double up the jab to push Rolly back. Instead, Ryan would just throw a jab, and whenever he would land a jab, Rolly would do that weird thing that I'm talking about, like wiping off his eye, wiping off his face, like wiping the jab off of him or whatever, which I don't understand. Again, that's why he should have doubled up the jab. Once you do that and then Rolly does that stupid thing, you do it again, and it sets up the right hand right there. But Ryan Garcia he was too gun shy. He was afraid. He was afraid of what was coming back. He'll throw a jab and then just stand there. And, Rolly wasn't doing much of anything either, but Rolly was pushing Ryan back. And I'm going to tell you something, Rolly is physically strong, bro. I honestly believe that Rolly has a harder punch than Tank Davis. Tank Davis just has more skills and more skills in his arsenal, which allows him to be able to get more knockouts or whatnot. But I definitely think that Rolly is the heavier-handed fighter. He's just limited with skills or whatnot. And so Rolly is pretty strong, bro. So Ryan wasn't able to back Rolly up properly. Rolly was backing Ryan up. Rolly was controlling Ryan without even throwing punches. Like, that's how gunshot Ryan was. And Rolly forces his jab. Ryan snaps his jab. Rolly forces his jab, which leaves him open to get countered. But Ryan didn't want no parts of that. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a very piss poor performance by Ryan. And I always say this, bro. I've said this for a long time. When fighters come off of their best performances or when their best victories, a lot of times the next fight they look terrible. Like, they don't look as good. They look terrible or whatnot. It's hard. It's getting more and more rare for fighters to be consistent. And it is what it is. Now, what I see next for each fighter, Arnold Barboza just go back to the drawing board. He can become a champion. He just got things Tio was just all around better than him. It's just if he fights Tio 10 times, Tio would beat him 10 times. I just think Tio is just the wrong style for him. So he just goes back to the drawing board. I think that I would like to see him. I like to see him, I don't know who I would like to see him against right now. I have to go look at the 140-pound division. As far as Tio called out Boots. Hey, bro, go ahead. Go up there and make it happen. I don't think that he beats Boots, but it makes for an entertaining fight. Go ahead and make it happen. If you believe in yourself, man, like, nobody believed that Rolly would beat Ryan except for Rolly, and you see what happened. So go up there and make it happen if you feel like you can beat Boots. I would tune into that. I'd like to watch that. If not Boots, I would like to see him mix it up with. I don't care to see him and Rolly. I just think he would beat the hell out of Rolly. But him and Devin would be good. As far as Devin, I'd like to see him. I like to see him against Mario Barrios. I don't think that Devin has the frame to sustain himself at 147 pounds against guys like Jerron Ennis, or even a Conor Benn right now will be a very, very tough fight for Devin Haney. But I think that he could beat Mario Barrios. I'd like to see him against Mario Barrios. And as far as Rolly goes, I think he's moving to 147. Oh, yeah, I think he's staying at 147. I don't know, bro. Good luck. He has the regular WBA belt, so they'll throw him in there with some unknown name. I don't want to see a rematch with him and Ryan. I don't even care to see a rematch with Ryan and Devin at this point. It just is what it is. I don't know what Ryan does. I don't know what he does from here, but don't really care either. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?